I want you to, are you seeing my presentation, the three ladies?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, once you have selected your target, and I know, for instance, Dani has already 2 segments that she's gonna focus, but challenge yourself, Dani, and if you need to work with 2, just create 2 personas. But if you have only 1, work in 1. But after you have selected your group, maybe Gaslin should focus maybe in add-ons and hair loss only for now, you know, and really target everything. We already said that if we try to market for everyone, we spread too thin, we cannot focus, our message is diluted. We don't want that. So we want to create our avatar and persona. Once we create the avatar and persona, in the case of Gaslin, everybody is B2C, business to consumer. But for instance, Camilo, when he started today, he said he's noticing he's in the business to business. He said he thought he was in the business to consumer. That means that they are selling to business and the business were selling to personas, to consumers. Or you can be in the marketplace. That means that you are putting together buyers and sellers, or you can be selling to government. So let's talk about business to consumer. All of you that are working with business to consumer, Gaslin, Esther, let me think, Chef Jordan, Dani, Dani works with businesses, Tanya, Angela, okay?
We work with consumers too.
Who's talking? You work with, that's true, Dani, you work with consumers too. So when you work to consumers, we have to think, can we satisfy the need? Are we really solving the problem? They buy for these 3 reasons. Either we're satisfying a need, solving a problem, or making them feel good. And when we are going to define the avatar, we need to make sure we know the geography. Where are they located? The country, the city, the size, the neighborhood area, the weather, seasonality, and the infrastructure. When we started the client, Gaslin was very good at defining this. But if we jump too quickly into this and we don't do the previous analysis, we may be doing this exercise for the wrong group. So that's why we need to do the other analysis first. So the demographic, the geographic, then the demographic, the age, the gender, the educational level, income, marital status, family life cycle. That's a very important thing. Believe it or not, that defines a lot of things. Ethnicity, religious status. Psychographic, what do they think? Lifestyle, opinions, interests, attitudes, and beliefs. And behavior, how is their typical day, activities, hopes, dreams, loyalty, risk level, frequency of use. When I work at the agency, believe it or not, we focus less on the geographic was always important because it's very important when you buy media. But the demographic nowadays, you can buy a lot of media focus on psychographic and behavior. So ideally, you should also really understand these 2 to be really niche. Because I think how many people, women are my age, and we are so different that if the definition doesn't have all these other, the psychographic and the behavioral details, it's too generic. Once you have this profile, I want you really to understand what are the pains, what are the consumer's fears, frustrations, and anxieties, what keeps the consumer awake at night, and what are the consumer's new needs. Things are changing. So what is something that they are needing now and we are not, nobody's considering? And the gains, what are their desires, passion, hopes, dreams, and other thoughts or feelings that make them feel motivated in their behavior, okay? Then you can create a persona. So I'm gonna give you an example. Suri will be with us during the whole class. So let me introduce you to Suri. She has been in business for 3 years, like many of you, and she has multiple types of clients. Those are individuals, gyms, and she also works at a public university. So Suri did this exercise. Okay, she said the problem for business to consumer is that the individuals that want to be fit, flexible, and reduce stress, okay? And the solution that she's offering is personalized yoga and Pilates classes. Yeah. Okay. So the geographic, most of her clients live in downtown Miami, Miami Beach, and Coconut Grove. The demographic, she has a group that are women 35 to 55-year-olds. And she also has men 30 to 60 years old employed. So I put it very, not all the details, but go back and put as many details as you can. So in psychographic, women 35 to 55-year-olds want to get fit fast and meet their friends. So they also want to socialize, not only get fit, but meet friends. While men, they probably want to do it as a complement of another sport. Maybe they're running, they're doing triathlons, and they want to reduce stress. Behavior, women, they want to go during the week, usually at the school hours. Once they drop the kids to school, they want to go to the gym. While men want to go first thing in the morning or late at night after work. Okay? So can you get the picture of her two clients here? Okay, what are the pains? For women, minimal sweat. They don't want to sweat. Minimal sweat type of exercise, and they have a lot of joint pain. All of them, the shoulder bothers them, or the hip, or the knee. So they have something there. And for men, even though there are physical pains, it doesn't mean the pain has to be physical, okay? Men, not getting the peak performance and stressful work. The gains, women can access to low impact indoor fitness alternative with the yoga and Pilates classes, and men can gain flexibility and reduce stress. And then she went and defined the persona. Women are looking for a low impact, low sweat exercise where they can come with their friends, while men are the ones who look for an alternative to reduce stress and increase flexibility. Okay? So I put really little words. You can make it more detailed for those that work with consumer. So this is the exercise for those that work with consumer. You have to do the Excel first, and then you will come here. Then if we talk about business to business, because many of you are also in the business to business. Businesses buy from you from any of us that sell to business for 3 reasons. Because you as a business can develop something that will increase revenue for them. Because you as a business help them maintain their status quo. For instance, if I say sell paper to companies, they need paper. They need paper for the printers. If I sell the ink, they're not going to make revenue. They're not going to decrease expenses, but they need it to maintain the status quo. They need to do it for the day operation. Or you can have something that will help them decrease expenses. So for instance, if I have a product that I have a specific AI for universities that will help them reduce the amount of analysis of student tests, I'm decreasing expenses because I'm making that less. I need less people to do that. Or if I have a system that will connect the accounting system with the invoices. So I'm decreasing expenses. So be very careful that you are very clear. You work with business. What is that you do? You are going to do something that will increase revenue, something that will help them maintain their processes and status quo, or something that will decrease expenses. And in this case, what I want you to think is, how is that avatar of the businesses you're going to reach? So the market. So what is the industry dynamics? Is an industry that is going up or is going down? If it's an industry that is decreasing, my advice, don't step in. Let it pass. They may be so cool. Maybe they're your clients for years, but if you're really reaching a lot of clients in an industry that is declining, think of another group. That's why we're doing the Excel first. The trends, who are the competitors, the industry growth, decline, or change. We already talked. What is the type of company? How big is that company? Number of employees, annual sales, location. How stable are those companies? The type of services and products they offer. The connections. What are the key contacts and profiles? Do you know the key contacts on those type of industries? Do you have a relationship with those contacts? What are the relationships among those contacts? What are their attitudes, preferences, and biases? I worked with so many clients when I was at the agency, and each client had a completely different culture. I will never forget, I used to work, I had to go out to Mexico to work with some milk for babies with, I forgot. Okay, it was powder milk for babies. Miss Johnson. Whenever we got to Mexico, we had to bring our own cup. They weren't allowed to give us coffee. Can you believe it? And they weren't allowed, they couldn't even serve us. We had to go to the kitchen, use our own cup and pour the coffee or pay for the coffee or pour the water from the sink. So, yeah, so every company has its own cultures and you need to know because it determines how you do business with them. And then the purchase center, it has changed so much. Not all the companies are buying directly. Some of them have even locations that you have to put, maybe online. You need to look for a specific procurement of those companies to reach them. Maybe they have a specific process that you need to become a vendor first. So you really need to understand that. Once you have this clear in your head, in your paper, then again, the pains, the same that we described. The pains are all the fears, the frustration, anxieties, what keep this business wake up at night, and the gains, the desires, hope, and dreams of this company, and how they can get motivated to go to where you want to go. I'm going to say this to businesses. Of course, if you work with public companies, it's easier to get data. But if you don't work with public companies, make sure when you meet with people, you ask the right questions. I can tell you, for instance, when I worked for Avon, that is a public company, the makeup company, I learned after a couple of times that whenever they had the quarterly reviews, you know, they were on the on the market, and the stock sometimes went up and down. So every quarterly review, they publish those reports. I learned with time that if I read that morning the report, or I pull it out and I was listening to the reader in the car, when I came, I could have the adjustments ready for my client before she called. If the stock went down, I knew she was going to call me to cut media. If the Latin America report shows something that we're not doing as well they were expecting, that was that. And if they were doing better, were doing not that well as expected, she was going to ask for cuts in media. And if they were proving that Latin America was doing better, she was going to ask me which projects I had in addition. So I could really go ahead. So be aware of the clients that you have and try to be ahead of the game. You can do it. If you really know your client, you can really know it. Okay? So you have to create your business profile, know them inside out. Let's talk about Suri, because we said she worked with gyms, no? The problem, individuals that want to get fit, flexible, and reduce stress. The solution, because this is for business, group yoga and Pilates classes at boutique gyms. Okay? The market are, at that time, gyms were affected by COVID. They are now picking up. In 2022, they started to pick up again. So, and boutique gyms were trending, and they're still trending. Not everybody wants to go to a big gym. There are a lot of people that want to go to small gyms where they're not meeting everybody. So these boutique gyms usually have 1 to 5 employees. The sales are about 250,000. They offer also early and night classes in downtown Miami Beach, and Coconut Grove. The connections, Suri has visited some local gyms, and she's using LinkedIn to offer group classes to gyms. The behavioral, they're seasonal. Summer is the high, is a low season, and the first semester is the high season, you know, when everybody promises themselves to lose weight and get fit. January, February, March. So that's what happened. And then for the summer, people want to get fit. The pains, good connection with clients. The gyms need to make good connections so clients come back. Responsible structures, good and engaging classes, and structures for early morning and late nights. It's very difficult to find instructors that want to give the 6 a.m. class and the 7 p.m. class. The gains, clients want to come, that the clients will come back and the staff will be stable. So the avatar that Suri has created for business are boutique gyms in downtown Miami, Miami Beach, Coconut Grove, which make more than 250,000 and are looking for responsible early morning and night class instructors with good client rapport and engaging classes so clients come back. So do you see how everything comes together? I break it into pieces, but when I define the avatar, I can make it very to the point. And you see, by this, just by doing this, Suri can go to gyms and have a very good speech because they already know who's the target. Questions about business to business? No? Okay.
I do have a question. So one of the things that I offer is like a mentorship program for other birth professionals. And, the problem is, not being able to have a consistent workflow. So what I'm trying to do is replicate kind of like the approach that I'm taking of having multiple types of customers, wherever they are locally, right? So whether they're in New York or New Jersey, like figuring out ways to tap into different sources of funding. There's a question in here, I promise. But my question, I guess, is as I'm looking at all of this and trying to figure out how I'm going to do these slides, so I'm sure that's part of the homework, it's making me think about, in terms of strategy, is it better for a business to focus in on just the B2C or the B2B? Because it kind of happened organically. I didn't like intend for it to happen that way. But I feel a little overwhelmed because it's business to business, it's business to consumer. And because of like some of the grant stuff that I'm doing, it's also business to government. So I'm kind of like, yeah.
So I want you to use those business to consumer, business to business, and business to government in Excel. And really question yourself, how profitable is each of them? You may want to go among the three of them. And if you want to do it, you have to do the 3 exercises. Yes, this exercise for the B2C, the B2B, and the B2G. But that exercise will help you know how much of your time and effort you're going to invest towards each group. Maybe right now it's showing that a lot of the maybe business to consumer is the highest revenue for you. But maybe the potential growth is not there. Or maybe because that's not your preferred job. So try to do it strategically. But in your case, you have 3 areas of business, and that happens. And in that case, you really need to know the 3 groups very well. Is it help? Does it answer your question?
Yeah, because I feel like I know the B2C really well, because during consultations, I'm taking notes to fill in all of the behavioral pains, and I know those things really well. It's just institutions and government,
so it's challenging, but the good thing is by this exercise, you will be challenged to Google more, find more, even ask the better questions when you go. So this exercise, like other exercise I will give you, is just to challenge you to take it to the next level. Sometimes we take the clients for granted. But if we really know, like this guy, Alex, that I told you, he was like really, he said, when they came, I knew the speech to the T. So if you do this exercise well, you will see when you go, for instance, to the institutions or government, that suddenly this speech flows so well. Because if you really know their pains, their gains, the size, you can really, when you talk, tailor the conversation to what they need. Okay? Yeah.
Quick question. just to understand this, initially when you presented Suri, she was doing business to consumers. So Suri is a business, and she has her consumers, individuals practicing yoga.
So she has 3 types of clients. She is like
Yeah,
Esther.
the women and the yes. So
Okay,
this one
so
was clear.
the company is called Suri Pilates.
It's a company.
Sorry, I forgot to say. It's a company. Yes, I forgot to say.
Okay.
Suri company is Yoga Pilates. The owner of Suri is Suri.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. And she has 3 types of clients. She has individuals that we talk about them. She has gyms. So this is business to consumer. This is business to business, and a public university that is business to government.
Okay. Okay. So that's the link I was missing. Okay. So when she sells to gyms, her behavior is B2B.
B2B. Exactly.
Okay.
Thank you for the question. Sorry, I didn't clarify this at the beginning, but we will be talking across a lot of the classes with Suri. That's this company, Suri Pilates. Okay. Thank you for the question. I forgot to introduce you the company. I only introduced Suri. Okay. Any other question? So Esther, like you, Suri had to do all these exercises. Okay, I'm gonna go quickly. Sometimes you go into consumer to consumer. That is that you put buyers and sellers together, like Amazon or Airbnb. I'm not gonna go in detail. If you're gonna do it, then you have to do, if you're connecting to businesses, then you need to do 2 profiles of businesses. If you're connecting to clients, then let's say Esther had a different business model, and her business model was only to be a broker and connect the pregnant women with doulas. She will have to, if you do that, you have to do this exercise too.
In the grant
Okay.
with the government.
Okay, so you have to do this to really understand who's the buyer, who's the seller. Esther, but I know this will help you so much. I know this class, believe it or not, is so intense. It's a deep exercise, but if you do it right, everything will start fitting into place. Believe me. So, okay, so then I want you to create then your profile. And finally, business to government. If you Google how to create a persona for business to government, there are not really many. This I did it after talking with Barbara in procurement and seeing different things, okay? So what I want you to do when you're doing business to government is understand the agency and the institution, the connections, the decision makers, and the competitors. So the agency and institution, you wanna know what are the annual budgets? What are their spending trends? When do they spend with government? So for instance, believe it or not, I don't know how is depending on the fiscal year, like for instance, the university, FIU, the fiscal year is July to June. I think so. Now Barbara is gonna kill me. I think it's that one. So what happens
FIU is July 1st to June 30th.
okay, so I'm in the right thing. Okay, so what happens is, for instance, imagine Barbara has budget left that she has to use. Of course, in May, July, she needs to take a lot of decisions to use that budget, because with government budget that is committed, you have to use it. Or maybe let's say June, August, she needs also to plan at the end of at the first semester to make sure at the beginning of the second semester where is she going to put the budget. Okay, some governments, I think, is Barbara in September that most the federal government is in
Federal
September,
government is actually November 1st to, I'm sorry, October 1st to September 30th.
So you really need to know that. And Barbara, what about Miami-Dade?
Miami-Dade County is actually, they run from, they close out, they are similar to federal government. So it runs from November, my bad. It should be running November 1st to October 30th.
Okay. So this is very important, depending who you're dealing with. Thank you, Barbara. You really need to know that. Also, the agency past decisions, who they have hired before, why they have hired those companies. What is the vendor programs that they have? Do they care about any I forgot what is the name of that. Any, like if you are a minority or if you are a small business. So you need to know all of that. The connections, what key connections and profiles you have, the relationship between those contacts, the relationship with your companies, the attitudes, preferences, and biases too. Okay? Then the decision makers. Who makes the decision? Because even if it's government, you need to know the people. Even if you have to apply to a platform, you need to know. So what is the purchase seasonality? In which time do they purchase? What are the calendar due dates? All the administrative part, the certifications, the process, the preferred method of contact. Do they want to be contacted by phone, by email? And then you need to know your competitors. Who had won those bids before? Also, learn, sorry, that's in decision makers. For instance, what are the brackets? Depending on the amount, maybe it has to be a bid, maybe it can be just, you could be one of the preferred vendors and they only have a couple. So you really need to know what are the brackets. Then in competitors, number of employees, annual sales, location, company stability, and type of service. The reason you want to know your competitors is because you can go and always request the bids and know who won, for what amount they won, everything. So you need to do that research. Many of the companies that we know that Barbara has helped more than me on procurement, sometimes we tell them, just make a bid even if you will lose it. So you learn the process and you learn how to do it and you learn who are your competitors, okay? And again, what are the pains? What are the pains of that agency institution, the limitations, the frustrations, and the demands? What are the agency needs and new needs? And then what can you add value in the times, processes, etc., or other needs that motivate their behavior? And then you need to create that persona, okay? Let's look at Suri. And Suri, definitely the problem, we say individuals that want to be fit, flexible, and reduce stress. But the solution in this case are group yoga and Pilates classes for public education institutions. The agency, in this case, are public universities and the school system that have programs for small businesses. The connection, Suri receives information through an SBE certification. Once you get the certifications, you start getting in your emails a lot of proposals. I think I have the SBE that I did one with a group. And even now I get a lot of emails about, we are looking for women to do this. We're looking for women to do this. Please apply now. So she needs to connect with those procurement departments. The decision maker, Suri needs to participate in bids depending on the amount, bidding platforms. She can also explore temporary contracts. The competitors are the athletic trainers in Miami-Dade. Okay? The pains, good connection with the students, responsible instructors, good engaging classes, good price and delivery. The gains, proper administration of bids, invoices, and minority business, and the fact that she's a minority business. If you want to work with government, your admin processes have to be impeccable. Do you want to lose a relationship with the government? Make good, invoicing not correct, missing times for invoicing, not fulfilling what you promise. Your admin part has to be impeccable. So the description is office administrators of different schools and universities which need to have an athletic trainer to have students get fit, flexible, and reduce stress, okay? So that's for government. Okay. Anything that you learned different from how we did the segmentation? Any thoughts? Something that you didn't thought before? Apart from Esther that is concerned that she has to do a lot of work. But you will thank me, Esther, I know. Anybody else?
The beginning when you started differentiating the clients, the customers, the users, decision makers, and influencers, that part I I didn't see it at first because I was used to B2C, B2B, B2G, but you breaking it down like that kind of helped see where everyone goes.
Thank you, Sabine. And you know what? If you think you're in an industry that has like very important influencers, then you can take one of these canvas for the analysis of the target and you can use for the influencers or for the decision maker. So these exercises, even though we did it directly for the user or consumer of our product, if you think you play with a lot of constituents, don't be afraid to try to create those type of profiles for those, for the influencers, for the who pays, all of that. Because maybe, listen to what I'm gonna say. It may be that you are as a business, you are building an amazing relationship with your client, but you haven't built a relationship with the influencer or the decision maker or the ones that pays. And that could be your biggest roadblock. Maybe your client is convinced, but if the other people playing around are not, even if the person wants to buy your product and service, they cannot do it. Okay? Okay. So up to this point, the homework is to do the Excel and then to do the analysis of your segment. If you are in all business to business, business to consumer, you have to submit all the pages. If you are in business to consumer, really focus on two after the analysis, those two. So just invest in this class. I assure you that if you do this class right, it will pay off for the rest of the class and it will pay off in your business. I am completely sure, okay? So now let's talk about value proposition. And I promise I'm gonna make it fun because the other ones was a lot of things. So are you ready to watch a movie? Okay, I'm gonna open it in Safari. Oops. Okay, let me share my screen and take off my earbuds. I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna use a TV commercial. Can you listen to it? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I'm gonna play a TV commercial. And I'm gonna play it twice. It's from the pandemic time. The why I do the pandemic is because it's easier to find the need and the pain. So I want you to tell me the customer segment, the need, the pain, the gain, the product or service. Okay, so let me switch my screen. And let me put this. Okay, are you ready? I'm gonna put it twice. And then we will discuss. Okay.
Domino's has contactless delivery, so you can safely get pizza even while you stay indoors. Just stay those.
I'm sorry, are you seeing the video?
No.
Ah, yeah, I thought that. Sorry. I'm doing something. Yeah, I had that feeling. Okay. Sure. Let me go back.
Domino's has
Sorry, are you seeing it now?
Yes.
Okay.
Domino's has contactless delivery, so you can safely get pizza even while you stay indoors. Just stay those old.
Doesn't have sound anymore. It's silent.
Next time you get 2 or more medium 2-topping pizzas for $5.99 each, choose contactless delivery from Domino's. Domino's has contactless delivery, so you can safely get pizza even while you stay indoors. Just stay those old. Next time you get 2 or more medium 2-topping pizzas for $5.99 each, choose contactless delivery from Domino's.
Okay. Let me go back to my presentation. Okay. So who's the customer segment?
Business to consumer.
Business to consumer, but who's the person that they are reaching Domino's is looking for? The
Young
avatar.
people, young people.
The decision maker of dinner in the household.
Yeah, what else?
People
Young
that don't
people.
wanna cook. Yeah.
But who
Remote
do you
people?
think?
People that don't want to leave
First,
their house.
Sorry,
Yeah.
Marilyn?
People that do not want to leave their home, that they're stuck at home.
People
Right.
that don't want to leave their
Right.
home. And how do we
Mhm.
know they don't want to leave their home?
Because they're targeting by the message they're sending. They're
But how
saying
do we know? In which
The
image do we
contactless.
know?
Contactless delivery.
But also the fact that the guy was in underwear.
I was just about to say,
Going out,
yeah.
okay?
And too
Okay.
comfortable being
And
home.
he's hungry. No, he's hungry. That's the need.
Right.
What is the pain?
That he has to put on his pants.
Hunger. I think the hunger is the pain.
The contactless. He's hungry, but he doesn't want
Yeah.
to get in contact. Remember, this is during COVID. He doesn't want to get in contact with anyone. Okay? Okay, what is the gain?
the pizza.
The pizza, but what else?
he don't get to leave his home. He could have it in the comfort of home.
To get the service in home.
He
No
doesn't catch COVID.
Yeah, he's not exposed to COVID.
No
Yeah,
interaction
because
with
of
people.
what? Because of what he's not gonna get COVID?
No interaction with the person who dropped off the pizza.
The contactless thing. So, and the service is the contactless thing. So, yeah, usually young people. It seems like the guy lives alone, probably. That's why he needs food because nobody's cooking for him. The need is he's hungry. The pain is he is so afraid of getting in touch with anyone. The gain is the contactless. You know that he's not gonna get in touch with anybody. The product and the service is the contactless
I
piece.
don't want no liquid. I don't want a smoothie. I want food.
So
Oh
can you
my God.
are you clear on the elements?
Yes.
Let's do the next exercise. Let's see the next one. Geico. Okay. Let me share my screen. No, this is not this one. Okay. 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 Let me change my screen. Okay. The same questions, okay? I'm gonna play twice. Are you seeing my screen?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Thanks for sharing your DIY haircuts. Thanks for sharing your savage moves, and especially your awkward ones. Thanks for sharing your cute kids and your adorable pets. Now it's our turn to share with the Geico Give Back, a 15% credit on car and motorcycle policies for both current and new customers. And because we're committed for the long haul, the credit lasts your full policy term. So thanks again. One good share deserves another.
Let me play it again. Sorry. I lost. Oh, replay. Okay.
That one wasn't so obvious.
Thanks for sharing your savage moves, and especially your awkward ones. Thanks for sharing your cute kids and your adorable pets. Now it's our turn to share with the Geico Give Back, a 15% credit on car and motorcycle policies for both current and new customers. And because we're committed for the long haul, the credit lasts your full policy term. So thanks again. One good share deserves another.
Okay. Let me go back to my screen. Okay. So who's the customer segments?
Anyone sharing?
Anyone that has a car and a motorcycle that is insured with them. Okay. What is the need?
A discount on their insurance because they're probably not using it as much since everyone was at home.
So yes, I guess a lot of people started to cancel their policies. So they thought, okay, how can we make sure they're happy keeping their policy and we don't lose them? So, okay. So the pain, yeah, is what you said, that they were canceling the policies. The gain, what is the gain?
The discount?
The discount.
The price.
The pricing, yeah. They were able to keep it for a year.
Not only you have the discount, but you keep it for the duration of the policy. Okay. So this is why I want, and the product, what is it? Is it a product or a service?
Service.
A
What
service.
The policy. So are they clear, the elements? So believe it or not, everything we watch has these elements, and that's a value proposition. So we are going to learn how to write your value proposition, okay? Because you see those commercials are so clear, and we should be that clear when we present our business in the website, in person, wherever we are sharing, okay? I want you to be careful that value proposition is not your product, and value proposition is not your mission. Value proposition is why people buy your products and services. That means that they have a need, they have a pain, you have a solution that generates a gain. Your product is just your product or service. And the mission is why your company exists. So, for instance, the tennis shoes is a product. Tennis shoes with the, I don't know how you call these, picks, are for those that play soccer. Spikes, so they can ground on the floor. But the mission for instance, for Tom's is that for every pair of Tom's shoes purchased online or at retail, the company will provide a pair to a child need, 1-for-1. Mission statement has the following major points: improving lives, and improving communities. So be careful. We want to just remember always when we think about value proposition, there was a segment of clients that have a need, that they have a clear problem. We have a product or service that solve that give a specific solution. So it's like the perfect match. Here I have a client with a problem and a pain, and here I have a product or a service with the perfect solution. So it's the perfect match. So value proposition is also when we give value to someone, and it's a promise that what I give you is a solution for you. So value proposition is, why should a consumer buy your product or use your service? So it eliminates a pain and generates a gain. Okay? We also want to make sure that our value proposition not only is unique, that's why we talk about how we need to know our segment, but also that provides a value. It provides really a solution of value. Believe it or not, most of the products are really in the same red ocean. They compete everywhere, but we want to be that our products or services are really unique to a specific niche. That's why we need a niche. If we don't select the niche, we live here. If we know our niche and we are very clear what values we can offer, we start living here. Okay? Also, to craft a value proposition, these are topics we already talked. Segmentation. We need to know the segmentation, the products and service, and the capabilities. Last class, we talked about the capabilities. Today, we talk about the segmentation. So we want to know a niche. So we really know what are the clear needs. These commercials, believe it or not, were so clear. Even though we watch them so fast, usually commercials are so clear on the value proposition. Then we need to know what is the pain and the gain. And I'm going to give you an example. This is called the point of reference. If I go tomorrow, the other day I discovered that water has got so expensive. Actually, I was in shock. I always thought a bottle of water was 150 cents and now it's like 350. Okay. So imagine I need a bottle of water and I go to I put gas and I ask for a bottle of water and they say, okay, the bottle of water is $3. I say, okay. Even though I thought it was $1.50, but now I realize it's about $3. So that's a good point of reference. If they say it's about $3, I will buy it. But if tomorrow I travel and I go to the airport and I ask for a bottle of water and the guy says $10, it gets out of my point of reference. So my next question is, and how much is the coffee? Because I'm not willing to pay $10 for a bottle of water. Okay? So the pain is always very deep. So remember, the client has a pain. If you manage to solve their pain, they will love you forever. The really serial entrepreneurs, they look for businesses with really deep pains. Because when they solve them, they really gain the client forever. But another important point when you develop gains, so it's not only to solve the pain, but to generate gains. Do you see that these two lines are narrower than these two lines? The reason is because I give more benefits. It doesn't mean people are going to pay more. So if I tell, okay, I say, you know, I want to change my cell phone, and suddenly I read that my cell phone does so many things, even if it makes miracles for me, the high chances I'm not going to willing to pay more than $100 more for a new model. So you have to be careful what you offer, that it doesn't go beyond what people are really willing to pay. So you really need to know what is the gains that people really want. Yeah, is it clear, this concept? The idea is that we can solve a pain with our product and service, but also the gains, the additional things we provide that are within what people are believing there are gains and they're willing to pay for it. Yeah? Questions about this graph?
I
Yeah.
have a question. This is something that I see a lot in terms of like people who develop coaching businesses. Some coaches charge a little, some coaches charge a lot. And so I'm asking if that's something I see is kind of coming out of some of the consulting that I'm doing, or even some of the mentorship that I'm doing. How do I do that? Because the point of reference to say that a specific doula is doing this work at this rate is not really there, because we are not many in number. So, and then when does a business know that they're the ones kind of like creating that point of reference, if that makes sense too, right? Maybe it's
Okay, the first question, I think in consulting, because we're talking about consulting, you need to see the relationship between the biggest, so you only have three variables when you manage. Let me see if I can draw here. Most of projects, when you work with projects, you only have three variables. Okay, let's make a triangle. Okay, sorry, my triangle. So one is the scope of work. Okay. So that means the project, in your case, is delivering, let's say, a baby. Okay. Or teaching the new doulas. The other one is the price, how much people are willing to pay for it. Okay. And the last one is time. Sorry, it takes me time to write. Okay. So once you discuss your project, you set up the scope, and that's right in written. The people agree on a price, but really the variable as a consultant that you have to manage the most is time. If you commit to a specific project and it takes you double the time to do it, you lost money. If you commit to a scope of work and you set up a price and you finish it in the time you expected, you made what you expected. But if you finish it sooner, then you make even a higher profit. Because at the end, these two ones that are set up, you cannot change them. The only one that is variable is the time. Does it help you? And the one that says the standard is the one that knows the client so well, that know exactly how much are they willing to pay to find this solution and for all the add-ons that you are offering here. But the secret is to know what is the client very well, how much are they willing to pay. And for what? Some services, people are not willing to pay for those, and some others, they do. For instance, the other day I was surprised. I was walking the dog and I saw somebody with a company that came and washed the trash cans. And in my thought, I was like, oh my God, there are people that are willing to have someone to wash the trash cans. I was in awe. I thought, oh my God, but isn't it easier to put the hose out and clean it? No, really, people willing. So you need to know your clients. Okay? So I hope this helps you a lot. All of you that work with projects, this is very important. Okay, let me clear this. Okay. Oops. Okay. Then capabilities. We already talked about capabilities. I'm not going to step in on that. So value proposition is like the heart of your business. This is your business. Your value proposition is at the core. You have customer segments, you have suppliers, you create and capture value from your clients, and you create and capture value from your suppliers, and everything is surrounded by the market, the economy, the regulations. This is the business environment. Okay? So I want you to create your value proposition. I want you, by now, when you do the exercises, you will know who's your customer segment. In your case, Esther and Danny, you have to write a value proposition for each client. I'm sorry. So once you know the customers with the commercials, with the ads, TV ads, we know we need to identify the need, the pain, the gain, and the product and solution. So let's imagine the contactless. Customer segment. Young adults that live alone and don't cook in this time of pandemic. The need, they are hungry and they want food fast. I mean, a pizza is something that you want, you have a craving and you want fast. The pain is, yes, you want a pizza, but you don't want to get in touch with anyone. The gain is that you're going to receive your pizza hot, delicious, with the melting cheese and contactless. The product or service that I'm offering is the contactless service. So once I fill out the top, then I can write it. Let's write it with the pizza. Our contactless service, our pizza delivery contactless service helps young adults that live alone who want to have a nice warm meal by, this is reduce the pain, by reducing the contactless, the contact with the delivery person, and increase and have a delicious warm pizza. Okay? So I'm making it super easy. If you fill out the top, if you fill out the customer segment, the need, the pain, the gain, and the product and service, you are ready to fill out this. Our product and service helps our customer segment that needs to solve the need by reducing the pain. So these two, this and this, by reducing the pain, sorry that I'm crossing all the arrows, and increasing the gain. Okay? So you need to fill out the top first. Let's see Suri's case. Okay? So remember Suri. And Suri, when the business to business was boutique gyms in downtown Miami, Miami Beach, Coconut Grove, which make more than 250,000 and are looking
for responsible early morning and night class instructors with good client rapport and engaging classes so clients come back. So the customer segment, boutique gyms. The need, accountable early morning, night class instructors with good client rapport and engaging classes. The pain, accountable instructors with engaging classes, reasonable price, and good connection with clients. The gain, good client report, clients return, and stable staff. And the product and service, what Suri is offering, group yoga and Pilates classes at boutique gyms. So then after she fill out all the top, she fill out the bottom. Our yoga and Pilates classes help boutique gyms who want to have an accountable early morning and night class instructor by the need, they reduce the pain by having engaging classes, reasonable price, and increase the gain, and good client rapport, so clients wish to return. So if I read it continuously, it's our yoga and Pilates classes help boutique gyms who wants to have an accountable early morning and night class instructor by having engaging classes, reasonably priced, and good client report, so clients wish to return. So you should be able to write these. And once you have your value proposition, you can say it so quickly to clients. You can be to the point. You can connect with the clients in seconds. Okay? So let's get fit. So what I want you is to define your growth target segment. I know some of you have more than one, but I really want you to know where you're going to prioritize your efforts. So select a specific group of customers or market segment your business has identified as having the potential for significant growth in the future. This segment represents an opportunity for your company to expand its customer base and increase profit. So try to think where is the segments that you're going to focus this year, at least this year. So what is your growth potential? In which clients? Sometimes you have more than one, but which ones are the ones that you're willing to put all your efforts? Remember that we have limited resources. So I want you to do the PVPG, the Excel. Once you define which targets you're going to focus, you have to do the segmentation. They may be B2C, B2B, B2G, or if you are creating a community, you need to create the community. And then write the value proposition is for each segmentation. So the ones that have more than one group, you need, because this is how you talk to business or to business to consumers. If you touch more than one group, then you have to do it. So I know some of you, it's a lot of work this class, but I know it's going to pay off. Because you even guys said to me that, for instance, Esther said to me, I have very clear my business to consumer, but I never thought about the businesses that I need to reach. So you really need to go deeper and think about it, okay? So we will have office hours exactly like last time, but I need to ask you a favor. I know Senior offered to, so we're having the Mondays at 11:30 to 1:30. You guys know which ones you are in that group. And the Tuesday, 11:30 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. So you guys know. But I want a volunteer for the Tuesday morning to go at the Tuesday from 3:30 p.m. to 5:30 p.m. because the group is a little bit too big. Any volunteer that goes on Tuesdays? Nobody wants to move?
Unfortunately, I'm on a Zoom at that time from 4 to 5.
Don't worry,
so
Jasmine, if you can, but anybody, is there a chance? Esther, are you talking to me?
I'm checking my calendar to see if that time frame would work for the next few weeks. I'm just double checking.
Yeah, if anyone, because I know Senia offered, Chef Jordan is in that group, but I have a lot of people on Tuesday, so it's taking a little bit long. So if anybody from the Tuesdays,
it'll actually work. It's fine. The 3:30 to 5:30, because I'm gonna run into an issue every second Tuesday of the month anyways. That for a meeting that I have to facilitate. So I'm okay with moving.
So you're okay with moving? Okay.
Me
And-
too, me too, me too, I can move it.
You too, Oscar? So it will be 2 and 2, 4. Okay, I will accept that the two of you move in the evening then. Okay? I will send you the link and the times. It's at 3:30. Okay?
You're gonna
3:30
also
to
send
5:30.
the calendar invite too?
Yeah, I will correct the calendar invite.
Okay, thank you.
Okay? Thank you. I really appreciate your help. Please don't miss the office hours because we can go deeper in the discussion of your business. This is the only time I'm not doing consulting anymore. And I had to give away all my clients from the SBDC. So the only clients that I'm giving feedback are you, but if you come to the office hours. So don't miss the office hours, okay? Like last time, you will receive the client's page in Notion with all the information. Is everybody being able to go into Notion?
Yes.
Okay, I know the
Yes.
tools are not working. I fixed it today. I don't know if anybody was able to see the table on the tools and resources. Please let me know.
Oh, my tools and resources is not working. I don't see anything there. It shows the tools and resources, but it doesn't show the actual subject.
I will have to
She said
create
she
it
just
again.
fixed it.
Oh,
I fixed
Sabina,
it. So if you see it
Thank
working now, let me know.
okay.
Okay? Questions about the class today?
Just some question. Can we have the first part of presentation that you didn't record?
Okay, let me go back.
Additional-
Oh, you want to see the first part?
Yeah, if it's possible.
Yes, of course. Okay. So this part?
Hmm?
Which part, Oscar? This?
Yeah, yes. This one.
Okay, so definitely the reason why you should segment is because you can tailor the offerings, make it efficient resources, better marketing, customer satisfaction, and long-term growth. All of these will be written in your Notion, so you don't need to worry. And your key clients that I want you to think,
This one.
for instance, you, Oscar, who could be your clients, who will pay for the service, that it could be completely different, who's going to be the user. If you're teaching a class, the client is whoever wants to hire your services, the customer, maybe even another entity that is paying for you, the user are the students, but maybe the decision maker is someone else. And maybe the influencers are the students or the referrals, even the testimonials of people. Okay? This client versus customer, and I hope you remember this beautiful family.
Yes, this one. It's good. Thank you.
Okay. So, okay. So I want to know, what are you guys taking from today? Who wants to share what was something you didn't think before and you're taking from today?
For me, like I didn't really so deep what I like or what I don't like. For example, I always thought that if I have a client that has a remodeling, any remodeling, I had to do it, but it's not like I feel, you know, for sometimes that I want to do. I like more brand new things or start from scratch, but sometimes are things that I feel like are a pain and I don't want to do it. So I need to segment that clients because I just don't enjoy it. So I don't want to put my energy in there.
Okay, thank you. Anybody else?
The
Straight
growth
to the
target
point.
segment,
Oh.
because
Go ahead.
what was most beneficial is that while we actually discovered people that we were calling clients were actually customers, even though they were making big orders, they were actually just customers, right? And then also which segmentation would offer us the largest potential for growth while we're selling wholesale and we're not getting the full 100% MSRP on a product, because it goes not only wholesale to the spa, but then it feeds into our direct to consumer. It provided us a much bigger growth segment opportunity in that. So that's something that we need to focus on.
Thank you, Danny. I'm glad that it was useful for you. Ghislaine, I think you were going to talk.
Yes, everyone is not your customer, straight to the point. And then when you had us to do the percentile of knowing the rate, I don't know what that's called again. I forgot the little score.
PVPG.
There you go. So that really helped and helped me to understand where I need to go next in my business. So I appreciate that.
Perfect. Marilyn.
The ability to really see how you spend the value of your time. Because sometimes, you know, when you're working for yourself, you know that your time has a value, but you, at least I do, disregard it just to make that sale. So the more that, like from now on, if I really value my time and take into consideration, it would allow me to see what's profitable or not, and if it's even worth it to do like a special order.
Perfect. Thank you. I really appreciate your comment. Thank you. Anybody else? Oscar.
Yeah, I am very grateful for your presentation, because for me it's an opportunity to work hard my product and my segmentation and my niche. I think it's a very strong exercise to define and write down, and it's a critical thinking about myself. It's very, very important. I'm very, very glad with this invitation. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Oscar. I hope this really helped.
Yeah.
Thank you. Anybody else?
For me, you know how when you talked about the niche, right? I told myself that I was going to focus on caregivers, right? But even within caregivers, there is from the cradle to the grave. So you have caregivers who focus on infants, or caregivers who focus on adolescents, caregivers who focus on seniors. And so it's just like which of the caregivers, because it's still broad. So I still need to niche down.
That's a good point, Sabine. Thank you. Tanya, were you going to talk something? Or?
Yes, it's very important to understand what is the big difference between clients, customers, users, make a decision, because for me, it's the same. All of it, but the difference is bigger.
Okay, thank you. I'm glad. Okay, last comment. Anybody else? Esther, go ahead.
I would say this class helped me to see what I was leaning into in terms of doing things that fulfill me most and moving away from things that I don't like as much. And it helped me to see that it's going to take me working more with that segment that I do enjoy most to enable them to fulfill the need of other segments. So, you know, there's a focus on Medicaid covering doula support. So the best way I can support those moms who need that support is to really partner and have more institutions and governments in my customer population. So.
Thank you, Esther. No, I really hope, and believe me, if this class, I know the homework for next week, during the whole weekend, my ears will be hot. But do it. These exercises would change the rest of your strategy and would change your business going forward. This is the reason why I left the agency and I decided to focus on business strategy, because I saw how much money big companies were losing because they didn't do this properly. They didn't do their business strategy properly. So please, please, please invest time on this class. So I will see you Monday and Tuesday. Thank you very much. I will send